Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a simple question. How come we can do the hard things for a boss, but we struggle to do the simple things for ourselves? If your boss says, be here at 9, you're there at 8:55. If your boss says, get it done by Friday, you'll stay up late and make it happen. But then you make a promise to yourself, I'll start reading, I'll start walking, I'll stop wasting time. And somehow the promise gets postponed. And here's the truth. Your life changes the day you start keeping promises to yourself. That's the beginning of self-discipline. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about mastering the art of self-discipline, not as some harsh punishment, not as a prison, but as a form of personal freedom. Because discipline is not a cage. Discipline is the key. And if you'll give me a few minutes, I'll give you a philosophy that can change your whole future. Everybody has dreams, everybody has intentions. Most people have good intentions. But good intentions don't pay the bills. Good intentions don't build the body. Good intentions don't create the marriage, the business, the peace of mind, the bank account. Self-discipline is what turns intentions into reality. You know, I learned a lot of this from a man named Earl Schoaf. I was 25 years old, broke, behind on my promises, and truthfully behind on my life. And I met this extraordinary mentor who asked me questions nobody else had the courage to ask. He didn't say, the economy is bad. He didn't say, the government should fix it. He didn't say, your company should pay you more. He looked at me and said something like, Jim, if you want your life to change, you've got to change. Now here's what made Earl so powerful. He didn't just talk about success like it was a wish. He talked about it like it was a science, like cause and effect. He said success is something you attract by the person you become, not what you wish for, not what you need, not what you complain about, what you become. And it shocked me because I'd been waiting for life to improve. Schoaf taught me a better plan, improve yourself. And Schoaf is gone now, but his lessons are still alive. In a short time, he produced more value, more wisdom, more impact than many people do in 80 years. Why? Because he lived by discipline, he lived by principle, he lived intentionally, and when I think about that, it pushes me to ask, if time is uncertain, why would we waste today? If life is fragile, why would we delay the things that matter? That's where discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like urgency with purpose. You've heard it said, we all must suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I'll tell you, regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces. Now don't misunderstand me, discipline isn't easy. If it was easy, everybody would be in great shape, have money in the bank, strong relationships, and a future that looks bright. But it isn't. That's why it pays so well. So the first step is to stop asking, how do I get motivated? And start asking, how do I get discipline? Because motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Most people are waiting to feel like doing the right thing. They say, when I feel better, I'll start. When I feel inspired, I'll begin. When the mood hits, I'll get serious. Let me tell you something. The mood never hits consistently. If you're waiting for inspiration to become a master of your life, you'll be waiting a long time. Self-discipline begins when you say, I don't negotiate with my lower nature. You decide, and then you act. Because feelings are like the weather, changeable, unpredictable. But a decision is like a compass. It points you in a direction even when the weather is bad. So if you want self-discipline, don't ask for a new feeling. Ask for a new standard. We live in a culture that sells comfort like it's a virtue. Take it easy. You deserve a break. Relax, scroll, binge, indulge. Now listen, rest is important, but most people don't need rest, they need direction. Here's a question that will change your life. Are you living to avoid discomfort, or are you living to achieve your dreams? Because these are two different lives. Self-discipline is simply learning to delay pleasure for a greater reward. It's learning to say, not now, to things that steal from your future. And the truth is, if you don't design your days will design you. And they usually design you into comfort, distraction, and excuses. So if you want to master discipline, you must become suspicious of the easy path. Easy is a trickster. Easy says, skip it today. Easy says, one more episode. Easy says, start Monday. But easy has a price, and that price is called mediocrity. Now here's where most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is something big and dramatic, some major transformation overnight. No, that's not how it works. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day, and failure is a few errors in judgment practiced every day. Little things matter. Let me give you a picture. If you take a plane from Los Angeles to New York and you're off by just a few degrees, you don't end up in New York, you end up somewhere else entirely. And that's what small disciplines do. They correct your direction. So start small. If you can't discipline yourself to drink water, how are you going to discipline yourself to build a business? If you can't discipline yourself to read 10 pages, how are you going to discipline yourself to master your craft? If you can't discipline yourself to wake up at a decent hour, how will you discipline yourself to run your future? Don't despise small beginnings. Small disciplines compound. Let me give you another picture Mr. Schoaf gave me. This one changed my whole attitude about the little things. He said, Jim, everything you do matters. And I said, come on, everything? He said, yes, because your life is not changed by one grand event. Your life is changed by the direction you choose, and the direction is determined by the little things. Then he said something that made me laugh at first, but it's deadly serious. Jim Rohn, you can't get a different life by living the same day over and over. Sleeping in one too many times, spending money you should have saved, letting the days drift, breaking promises to yourself. That's why discipline is so valuable, because it protects you from that slow erosion. It builds you instead of wearing you down. And that's when it hit me. The small disciplines don't just build results, they build character. They build the kind of person who can handle opportunity when it arrives. Now here's a good phrase to remember. What is easy to do is also easy not to do. It's easy to read, and it's easy not to read. Easy to save, easy not to save. Easy to go for a walk, easy not to go for a walk. And the difference between easy do and easy not do is the difference between a life of strength and a life of regret. People say, I failed again, I broke my routine. Let me tell you something, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to be human. But mastery is not perfection. Mastery is consistency. Self-discipline is not never falling off the plan. Self-discipline is getting back on the plan faster. If you miss one workout, fine, don't miss two. If you waste one day, fine, don't waste the week. And here's what I learned. The greatest ability is dependability with yourself. Become the kind of person who says, when I commit, I follow through. That is personal power. Let me give you 3 decisions that will sharpen your discipline like a blade. Decision number 1, decide what you want. Most people are undisciplined because they're unclear. Discipline needs a target, so get specific. Decision number 2, decide what you're willing to give up. Discipline always requires a trade. Most people don't fail from lack of desire, they fail from lack of willingness to trade. Decision number 3, decide who you are becoming. Discipline is easier when it becomes identity. I'm a reader. I'm a disciplined person. I'm the kind of person who follows through. When you decide who you are becoming, your habits start to align. Now let's be practical. Your environment is either a bridge or a barrier. If your phone is always within reach, distractions will win. If your pantry is full of junk, self-control will be tested every hour. If your friends mock progress, you'll shrink your goals to fit their comfort. So make discipline easier. Put the book on the pillow. Put the gym clothes where you see them. Turn off notifications. Clean up your workspace. Spend time with disciplined people, because your environment is the invisible hand shaping your behavior. And here's the truth. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. So build systems. Now this is the moment where champions are separated from the crowd. Anybody can do it when they feel like it. Anybody can act when everything is going their way. But self-discipline is doing the right thing when the voice inside says, not today. Every time you do the right thing when you don't feel like it, you build strength. You build pride. You build identity. You become tougher. You become more capable. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Let me close with this. People chase motivation. People chase money. People chase recognition. But there's something more valuable than all of that. Self-respect. Because when you keep the promises you make to yourself, something grows on the inside. Confidence grows, courage grows, dignity grows. And when you break promises to yourself, something shrinks. Your belief in yourself shrinks. So discipline is not just a tool for success, it's a tool for inner strength. And once you start building that strength, you'll notice something. You'll walk differently. You'll speak differently. You'll make decisions faster. You'll stop begging life to change because you'll be changing. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't try to change everything tonight, but change something. Pick one small discipline and practice it every day for the next 30 days. One chapter, one walk, 1 hour of focused work, one habit of saving, one commitment to early rising, one commitment to planning your day. Because small disciplines practiced daily create a big future. Remember, discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could become. And you're capable of more than you've been settling for. Now go do the simple things, and your future will start doing incredible things.